The people now are connected. The manipulation of the people is more difficult. And I do think that communication will be a key actor in the process of democracy, of global governance, in the process fighting the inequalities.
I mean, what we've seen in communication in the last 15 to 20 years is unprecedented, really, in the history, the global history of the world. Communication has become more democratized, as you just said, because it's in the hands of individuals rather than corporations, and that we know from several instances around the world, including America and in the Middle East.
We must try to educate, to form communicators that they believe that they are committed towards the community.
I'm Cristina. I'm studying second year of International Relations, and maybe this question has been already answered, but I would like to put emphasis on it, and I would like to know how this cooperation, this closer cooperation between Emerson College and Blanquerna would help to build a better world, let's say.
Right. Well, as we've all heard, and as you certainly would agree, I would think that we live in a global world now. What happens in one country might have a profound effect on what happens in another country. Many students from this school obviously will move around and live and work and play in a variety of countries and a variety of settings. So intercultural competency is so very important. And so our relationship, our collaboration will help to develop in students a greater intercultural competency. We'll give you perspectives on other parts of the world, which you'll be able to put to good use in your profession, whatever that.
What I'm most interested about is education. And as we all know, the youth are the base, and education is the basis of society, and so the basis of the future. And I'd like to know, well, perhaps you could answer me, whether you think that only university only university is contributing towards creating a better future for us, or also getting involved in other extracurricular or other initiatives that can be complementary to our curriculum.
A curriculum that is very close to the reality. You know, education is really important when we try to answer the main challenges that today we are facing. And for this thing, at least in Blanquerna, we try to really think in classes, in projects, that the reality is very close.
It's important to recognize that to have a diversity of higher learning, because not every student has the aptitude or the desire maybe to go to a four-year college. There are students who prefer smaller liberal arts-based colleges, and others who prefer large research universities. There are those who want to go to colleges or schools that focus on particular professions. So I think the first thing, at least that we recognize in the U.S., is to make sure the students have a diversity of choices from which to choose, and each of those schools will have their own specialized mission. But on the other hand, I think the world does look to colleges and universities to solve its most pressing problems. And so we are, in fact, training the leaders for the future. And as you heard earlier, not only they should be adept in a particular discipline, but you should also have an acquaintance with liberal arts, and should have a very strong ethical sense and bearing when you leave college.
My name is Miguel Hernandez, and I'm a second-year student as well of International Relations. And my question is for both of you, as experts in your fields. I would like to ask you, to what extent do you believe that our diagnosis of the real situation that is happening right now is misleading and not true, in the sense that we keep forgetting, in my opinion, that we are irrational beings. As human beings, we have feelings, we are irrational, and we do things that sometimes do not have a real explanation to the things that we do. And in some sense, we're also greedy, in the sense that society, even though we would like to have a perfect society where there are no inequalities, that we said, there are people who are greedy, and when someone is greedy and the other one is not greedy, normally the person who is greedy is the one who's going to make the benefits and gain the money. So in my opinion, I think that the diagnosis of this situation is not being correct, in the sense that we're trying to find an explanation to everything, a scientific explanation to things that do not have a scientific answer. So to what point do you think that our analysis and diagnosis of this situation that is happening today and that has an important impact on our future, to what extent do you think it's the wrong one? What mistakes have we done? Because we've done a lot of mistakes.
The world is a little much better than 50 years ago. I must tell you, I agree with this analysis. And we can see China, South America, we can see the level of poverty. And first thing. Second thing, I agree with you. The human condition is the human condition. To manage the human reality, to manage also the scarcity that we have in the world, it's very complex. And I know that it's very difficult to manage all these things. But we can try to build a more fair world, more just world, knowing that the differences will be always, but perhaps we can try to reduce these differences, because in my opinion, all humans are equal. All humans have their own dignity, and one very much important thing is to try to build a world where the people that are equal in dignity will be living much better. That's my opinion.
I think that was perfectly said.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.